Today we will be learning about decimal points. This lesson will cover 4th grade Common Core standards, including generalized place value understanding for multi-digit whole numbers, and understand decimal notation for fractions and compare decimal fractions. The objectives of this lesson will be that students will be able to read decimal numbers, and students will be able to identify place values in a number. Decimal points are used to separate the part of a number that is a whole number from the part of a number that is a fraction of a whole number. A decimal number contains a decimal point. Here's the number 45 and 6/10, written as a decimal number. The decimal point goes between the units place and the tenths place. To understand place value, let's look at this example. 45 and 6/10 has a 4 in the tens place, a 5 in the units place, and a 6 in the tenths place. As you can see, the 40 is represented by 40 bubbles, the 5 is represented by 5 bubbles, and the 6/10 is represented by 6/10 of a bubble. To understand decimals, we must first understand place value. The value of each digit in a number is based on its position or place. Let's look at the number 327. In this number, there is a 7 in the ones place, which means it is worth 7 one time. There is a 2 in the tens place, which means it is worth 10 two times. And there is a 3 in the hundreds place, which means it is worth 100 3 times. As you can see, the value of each number gets 10 times bigger as it goes to the left. So you would say this number, 327. In place value, as you move to the left, each position is 10 times bigger. For example, hundreds are 10 times bigger than tens. And as we move to the right, each position is 10 times smaller. So you'd go from hundreds to tens to units. So what happens when a unit is 10 times smaller than what is in the units position? This is when decimals come in. After a decimal comes the 1/10 place. The 1/10 place is located directly to the right of the decimal point. So in this number, you would say it 327 and 1/10. The and represents the decimal point when you are reading a number out loud. Decimal numbers get smaller and smaller as you move to the right. So after the tens place comes the hundredth place and then the thousandth place. Remember that in decimal numbers, the left of the decimal is always a whole number. So in this example, that would be 17. The number to the right of a decimal is a fraction of a whole number. The first digit on the right would be the 1/10 place. In this example, that would be the 5. And next comes the hundredth place, which would be the 9 in this example, and then the thousandth place, which in this example would be the 1. There are many different ways to think about a decimal. For example, a decimal can be seen as a whole number added to a fraction. Another way a decimal can be seen is as a decimal fraction. This is when you can turn an entire decimal number into an improper fraction. Are there any questions about decimals?